Hi there. I've been learning some hard baking lessons recently about when a cake sticks in the pan. It's always fun when that happens, and that's why there are about 1,000 YouTube videos out there that give advice on how to grease and flour a baking pan. Except for one thing. This happens to be a cast iron bundt cake pan, so why should I treat this in the same manner as a flimsy dollar store cake pan? Especially since there's a certain other dessert made especially in a cast iron pan that doesn't require you to grease and flour the pan in advance.
Cornbread.
Yes, cornbread. Now, when we make cornbread in a cast iron skillet, we preheat the pan in the oven, add oil and heat that up, and then add our batter to the pan. This forms a tasty crust, and it also helps the cornbread to pop right out of the pan with no sticking. So, why not use this cast iron cake pan to make a cake this way and see what happens? From what I've learned, a thick and heavy cake will be more likely to hold together in the pan and come out without sticking. So, let's give this a try with a simple, moist, and heavy cake, namely pound cake. With this procedure, you don't have to grease and flour the cake pan. Simply take the dry, ungreased cake pan and place it into your oven. Set the temperature to 425 degrees to preheat both the oven and the pan. While the oven is heating, begin preparing your ingredients. This is a very easy cake, and it just requires a lot of everything. The dry ingredients are 3 cups of flour, baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. Mix them together, then we add our wet ingredients. We have a cup of melted butter, 3 cups of sugar, and 6 eggs. That's why it's called a pound cake. We're using a full pound of ingredients here. Now for the extra flavor. The zest of 1 lemon, then squeeze in the lemon juice. From here, we add a teaspoon of vanilla and 1 cup of buttermilk. And we mix them all together.
Whoa, son of a...
Okay, let's try that again. This time, I didn't accidentally bump the mixer and turn it up to high. We take the hot pan out of the oven and leave the temperature at 425. Add a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil to the pan and use a brush to coat the entire inside of the pan. Now we take the pan and place it back into the oven for 5 minutes to heat up the oil. Add the hot oil to the cake batter and stir it all together. From here, we pour the batter into the hot cake pan. As anyone who makes cornbread knows, it isn't right if you don't hear the sizzle. And into the oven it goes. We leave it at 425 degrees for 5 minutes so the batter can begin forming a crust. Then, without opening the oven, we turn the temperature down to 325 degrees and set the oven timer for 60 minutes. This will let the temperature gradually decrease and keep the cake from burning. Looks nice on the outside. After 60 minutes, a probe thermometer came out clean, and the temperature of the cake was over 205 degrees. We can say this cake is done. You know, I do believe we are done. let the cake sit in the pan for 5 minutes before flipping it. There was only a tiny bit of sticking in the center. That may be because I didn't brush the center with oil well enough, but this certainly did not ruin the cake. And so, without greasing and flouring the pan, we have a full-sized pound cake. I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. I can only say it's definitely worth the investment to get a heavy metal cake pan. Now, a cast iron bundt pan is extremely rare, but I see no reason why this method wouldn't work with a heavy aluminum cake pan. Give it a try, and please be sure to come to our Cast Iron Cooking Facebook group and let us hear about your results. Thank you for watching.